Going back to Michael, from your perspective as a senior expert at CHI Limited, what are the biggest supply chain challenges small businesses face in ensuring consistent product availability?
When we talk about supply chain challenges, they're quite a lot we can look at. I've also come to understand that globally, all over the world, no business is immune to challenges. It's how you react to these challenges that determine the way forward, the growth and the sustainability of your business. Because I also strongly believe that your business can grow, will even grow better with challenges, which means that you will be able to think out of the box and like Rauf also mentioned from the initial statement, it's about your strategy, it's about your operational master plan. Now, for me, what I've seen in the recent time, as regards to challenges for SME, one biggest challenge for me is about poor stock visibility. For me, the biggest mistake of SMEs is operating without visibility. What do I mean by visibility? Not knowing what you have in your stock, not knowing what is selling. You don't have an opinion of where your money is going. You cannot track anything. This is one biggest challenge for me, and I've seen, based on my experience, based on what I've seen in the last few years working with Chi Limited, a business that does not have visibility of its operations is susceptible to stock out. It's also an indication that you might also overstock. And any SME globally, whether in Nigeria, whether in any part of the continent today, first, what is most important for you is to have visibility of your operations. So that, one, you will actually know how to manage your resources. Two, in terms of product availability, you can predict what you required to meet your consumer, to meet your customers. So for me, one of the biggest for me is, one, visibility. You need to understand, you need to know where your stock is. You need to know what you need at a particular point in time. You need to understand that I will be going out of stock of a particular SKUs in the next few months, in the next few weeks, depending on what you have indicated on your forecast and depending on the sales evolution. So for me, it's important that it's not until when you have what I call the most expensive ERP in this world to have visibility about your operations. A simple Excel can actually drive your operations, can actually drive visibility in terms of operations. And I'll give a bit of narrative of what I'm saying. Years back, from my college, I worked with an organization that deals with apparel. Before I joined that organization, there was simply no visibility of what is being sold daily. They don't even have inventory at all. So one of the things we did on why I joined that business for 2 years was to ensure that we establish a stock norm. First of all, we establish what is called inventory control with a simple Excel. Today, I can tell you that the business has grown. The owner of the business has left the business. The son has taken over, and he has built on this platform to ensure that he has strong visibility of what is happening end to end. So it is important for any small scale business to have visibility, because without visibility, you will continue to lose money. You will continue to lose capital, and your cost of funds, you will not even be able to service your loan if you are running on loan, because there will be stock loss. So one of that, for me, I would say that's the biggest challenge today in any SMEs.
Wow, thank you. That's a very powerful, very powerful explanation. Visibility is key in your operations. Manage your resources well is very important in end-to-end supply chain. You can even be able to manage your visibility and your resources just by using simple methods like Excel to be able to understand how you can have visibility in your end-to-end supply chain. Most importantly, what you have mentioned, inventory, because inventory is money in another format, which now if SMEs are not able to manage this, then it can be very hectic for them. Going back to John, who is sitting in a body which builds or brings out or manages supply chain experts in Kenya. From your vantage point at the Kenya Institute of Supplies Management, why is it important for small businesses to understand supply chain beyond procurement, beyond only logistics and transport? Will you be able to bring us through on why supply chain, end-to-end supply chain is very important to SMEs?
Oh, thank you so much, Paul. But good to see my friend Paul. We call him these days a Professor Paul, So I really appreciate that, and I'm very grateful for my sister who have organized for me to be here. Don't take that for granted. I appreciate that. It's a very timely conversation. Timely in the sense that the drivers of our economy is actually SME, what we call the informal sector in this world of Kenya. And but how do we therefore in supply chain help these people in this, I'll call it informal sector, to formalize their business, to eventually become not really professional people that can have, I like the word we used, Michael used, visibility, to have an end-to-end visibility of what they are, and stock is money, as you correctly say. So what we've done, and increasingly is as an area we've, I think, neglected as professionals. I must take that really as a chair of this professional body, that we have not taken serious interest, intentionality in ensuring that we actually bring in some form of professional. I like the word simplify, simple basic steps that they need to really make their business. Yeah, so I'm saying that many SMEs, if they don't embed a little bit of this basic professionalism in what they do, they end up losing business in a very short while. And so our job as professionals here is, how can we give back to these SMEs and these MSMEs? Now we're going a little bit more, so not just small and medium, but we're now calling MSMEs as even a little bit lower. It's becoming a big thing. In Kenya, we have a whole ministry that's dealing with that, and we're very blessed recently when we invited the PS, Principal Secretary, responsible in that ministry, to come and be with us, and so we want to form a partnership. How can we use our professionalism as a professional body to help the small businesses to grow up from just being family businesses to being professionally run, and eventually being able to scale the heights and become professional companies? Because that's the way we all start, from small to medium, and then to finally major conglomerates. And moving away from that what we call the family thing that makes people remain small, how can they grow beyond that and become professional? There's a book I like recommending. It's called E-Myth Mystery. How can somebody who is a business founder, a family founder, for instance, outgrow that idea of them doing everything, but they can bring in a little bit of professional here and there to kind of bring up their business to a level where they'll eventually outgrow them, and then they become more strategy, more focused, and get people that run that professional business eventually. So just to start us off, I can leave with that for now, Paul.
Just as a follow-up, John, thank you for such an elaborate explanation. As a follow-up question to what you've said, the integration between the profession, government institutions, and an institution which governs professionals. What can other SMEs or other professionals beyond Kenya, that's in Africa and globally, be able to learn? That is there a need of bringing in SMEs and supply chain experts together in support of bringing supply chain to be understood clearly to those SMEs? Because history has shown us that it takes around, most of the small businesses which start, it doesn't take even 5 years. Most of them, they go under. And it's because of supply chain related complications.
Exactly.
So how, from what you've done in Kenya, how do you think whatever you have said can be of great impact in making sure that that gap is bridged between supply chain experts, SMEs, and government coming in to support that initiative?
It's a very valid question, Paul, and there's got to be, it's not something you can do ad hoc. There's got to be some intentionality. There's got to be some structured mechanism where the professional body, in our case, works with the government ministry, in this case, which is actually what we are starting to do right now, to ensure that we actually work. And then, fortunately for us in Kenya, we do have some form of organized, they call it the Chamber of Commerce here in Kenya, the National Chamber of Commerce, and I think it's replicated across every country in Africa and globally, by the way. And then also the Kenya private sector and the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, in this case. So the Manufacturers Association, the Private Sector Association, and the Chamber of Commerce in each country. How can we work together? And that's what we've now formed, some form of partnership, M.O.V.E. to work together with them to form a capacity building, program, where we can now capacitate these small scale businesses so that they don't remain small, first of all, but more importantly, they professionalize what they do. Supply chain is the key. And they can actually make or break many of these businesses. Because and I think Paul, you said it, when they don't take inventory management seriously. And how do we go now from our ivory tower as professionals to simplify what we do for these people? And I think many times we come with serious supply chain acronyms that make it very difficult for us to reach them. How can we simplify what we do to bring it to the level of this small, and they cannot afford a professional, for instance. You don't want to charge, and one of the things I encourage my professionals is it's a CSR type thing, giving back. How can you use this, our professionalism, to give back to this other body? So we are coming now very closely with the ministry in charge of SMEs in Kenya, and we have now formed together. And this is actually as new as just a few months ago, to work together with the ministry to form a think tank on how can we support these small scale businesses from outgrowing their smallness into some form of professionalism, for lack of a better word in English.